always feed the people you're about to kill? You must be terribly assured yourself, bringing me to this diner, not expecting me to scream for help. And just there, you're advertising which family you work for with that bright lapel pin. Is that 3 dogs racing across a light purple field? I imagine you think that you are made of Teflon or titanium, flashing that around. Didn't your last Don, was it Blind Eye Bobby? Didn't he die in a massive shootout just the other week? It was all over the news. The new guy must have large shoes to fill if even I've heard a blind-eyed Bobby. What kind of message is your new guy broadcasting by sending a made man, such as yourself, to take out a complete stranger like me? And if my memory serves, I believe the hit was placed on my head because I stepped on his Armani slipper. I wonder if you yourself are questioning whether or not a shoe is worth a human life, whether it's mine or yours when you inevitably go to prison. How many times have you been already? I bet your dog misses you when you're gone. Your boss sounds like he's petty enough to kill a capo for not taking his hat off at the door, or to put a hit out on his own consigliere on the mere suspicion that he called him fat. Is that somebody worth dying for? He sounds like a high schooler to me, and he probably rebrands his immaturity as a sense of respect. And what does your family think of your career? And I don't mean the family you had to burn your own blood to join, but the family who needs no oaths to love you. Yeah, what do they think? Were y'all broke growing up? Did you need a job and a sense of power and pride? Some control? Are you stuck in the life? Do you want to leave before you lose the people you truly love and who truly love you? The fact that I'm not dead yet is telling me that you are having your doubts. But you did say that once you were done with your coffee there, we would go into that Chevy Nova of yours and we would go on our hike. One moment. Waitress, yes, could I have some more coffee? Yes, thank you. Are you sure you don't want any more? Top off there? Shame, really. Waffle House coffee is heavenly. By the way, do you know the man standing in the window just there? He's been here this whole time. He doesn't work here. He isn't smoking. He isn't gonna come in for waffles. I wonder what he's up to. Just standing and sipping his lukewarm coffee so slowly. And no. Don't raise your brow like that. I'm not trying to trick you so that you look away. Knowing your career, I'd say you should maybe take an interest in strange men watching you from windows. He has a nice suit, too. Pinstripes, nice leather Oxfords, fine fedora. This sort of thing must keep you up at night, huh? Knowing that you can never let your guard down. I wonder if things were better for you growing up. Whether or not you would have a life better than this. Either way, you haven't looked away from me this whole time. You remind me of a hawk watching a squirrel while it eats its last pine cone. Are you really sure you don't want any more coffee? I mean, yours is probably cold by now, and... Oh, are you gonna say anything at all? I admit, your silence is a bit... unnerving. Speaking of unnerving, I guess last requests. Can I see your pin? I can't pull any funny stuff. I know exactly what's pointed at me under the table well enough. As it happens, I collect enamel pins. Let's see here. The 3 black dogs, 2 pointing east, 1 pointing west. The westward dog has gold on his feet. All over a pale purple field, set in a shield. Do you know the story behind this family crest? I'm sure you do, but I've heard it a few times. Would you want to hear it again? I'm quite the storyteller, as it happens. Is that a nod? Well, all right then. The dogs. Majorcan hellebore is terribly poisonous. Even the seeds will turn your fingers black if you touch them for too long. Invasive to the area, they took over an entire valley for miles and miles. In winter, around Lent, they bloom pale purple, downward-facing flowers, turning the valley into a purple sea. The family who lived among the flowers had a difficult time growing food. The soil was depleted by the flowers surrounding them. Often touching the poisonous leaves, the family had to pull as many plants as they could, but they would wake in the morning to find their work undone. Hunger brings about madness, and anger born of desperation in almost absolutely every human. Eventually, the mother and father agreed to try to eat the hellebore leaves. Little by little, they added small doses of the plant to their meager rations of wild oats and rice, and the odd piece of dried deer, with deer being rare near hellebore. They started to brew the hellebore, little by little, into their tea of grass. After a year, the whole family could tolerate the poison, having full meals of hellebore salads and stews of their roots and roasted hellebore seeds to go on top of steamed hellebore flowers. One day, a strange man in a fine suit knocked at their door. In his arm was a basket bearing 3 black puppies and a waistband filled with dead rabbits. He promised left, right, front, back, and center that the puppies were a hunting breed which could retrieve meat miles away in a single day. All he wanted in return was to make the family's daughter his bride. It was agreed almost immediately, with meat being a fine delicacy in fields of hellebore. The daughter was carried away, replaced with 3 puppies and enough rabbits to feed them until they were large enough to hunt on their own. In a month's time, the puppies were catching small mice in faraway forests. This turned into rabbits and squirrels, and within the year, the puppies could bring home a young doe or a wild boar. The family, now well fed, still ate the poison. The family found that food without hellebore tasted odd, near unpalatable. They knew that others could not survive the amount of poison they regularly ingested, and they felt a strong sense of pride in their survivability. The puppies, now large dogs, were also used to the poison. Their coats were toxic, from running through a valley filled with hellebore. Meanwhile, the daughter, now living in a city, had learned to eat food without poison, finding many of her chest pains and hallucinations had ended, though she longed for the days of fields of light purple and the people within it. She knew her life was objectively better now. Her body had forgotten poison. Nonetheless, she would go for walks over to the edge of the giant forest that cut between her past and her present, and she dreamt of her old life. One day, one of the dogs picked up her scent, knowing it to be similar to his master's. His siblings caught rabbits and piglets, while he would run off to the west through the forest. While tracking his way, he ran through the gold pollen of berries and daffodils and ferns, giving him golden paws. The forest was thick and near impassable to those who did not know their way. Many have gone into the forest, and few emerge, such as the strange man in the fancy suit and the puppies in his basket. On her usual evening walk, the daughter saw the dog who had gone west, who had approached her lovingly and loyally, and who presented her a rabbit. Naturally, she reached out and petted the good boy's fur, only then to fall over dead, and the good dog did not know why. And that is the story behind the family crest that you bear so proudly. Wasn't the lesson something like, if you stop being tough, you'll get soft and die once things are dangerous again? Honestly, I see it as an allegory for the cycle of poverty and how crime can be well-meaning, but, well, it kills anyway. It is a bit depressing, if you ask me. Here, take your pin back. Are you gonna just hold it, like Frodo holding the One Ring, or you gonna put it back on your lapel? What's that? I can't hear you over your mumbling. Do you want another story? And, more coffee. Oh, of course. Waitress. Oh, yeah. Could we have more coffee? Both of us? Yes. Oh, please. Thank you. That man over your shoulder is still in the window looking at us. He hasn't touched his coffee for a while now. He's just staring at us. Are you sure you don't want to turn around and look at him? Maybe he's somebody you know. No? All right, well, I know not to push the issue with you. Well, my next story has a love triangle. Everybody loves them, especially when they involve rival families, right? Hey, y'all, it's Marcia O'Hare with Nightmare Public Broadcasting, here to say that mafioso better not kill that lady, because I need to know what happens next. The people who deserve an infinity in the warm and loving arms of Waffle House are the mighty and marvelous Zemo, Rocco, the Logosamancer, Ayafekla, Yokothu, Bingley, Chariot was Script, Man of Many Bees, King Crab, Axel Gale, Organic Emerald, Sam Myers, Jackson Daniel 42, Jeff, Pemster Mogus, and Big Nate. If you want to have an eternal breakfast party at a Waffle House with us, then become a patron right now and get access to some of the craziest shit on planet Earth, all while supporting me and my doggies and the content you love. Now, y'all stay safe out there for me. Bye! Newbie! What are you doing? What are you doing? You gonna let me record? No. Do you want a banana chip? Maybe. Hop up. Pippin, sit. Banana chips for everybody!
Y'all's best watch me in Fallout New Vegas every Tuesday and Friday at 1:30 p.m. Pacific Time on Twitch or Al Nuka-Cola Yudohao.